As far as the ED or the Enforcement Directorate has now cracked down on BBC India, slapping a massive fine of 3.44 crore for violating FEMA regulations. As the case stems from BBC's alleged non-compliance with FDR rules in digital media, which required them to reduce foreign investment to 26%, something that the company failed to do so despite repeated activities. Now, when it comes to the company, 3 of its directors are also facing individual penalties of 1.14 crore each. In the meantime, as far as when it comes to the charges that are now being leveled with the Enforcement Directorate now penalizing BBC India of 3.44 crores, now violating of FEMA violations. As far as when we speak of the directors as well, each of them have been now fined for 1.14 crore each. Now, what is being said that BBC India ignored the 26% FDI cap, and the FDI violation that has now triggered a show cause notice that has also now been issued was back in 2023 when it comes to the DAP-IIT FDI rules flouted by BBC adjudication order that was issued on the 21st of February. Now, when it comes to the BBC finance head also under probe, when it comes to what is being said that BBC India ignored the compliance deadlines, and in fact when it comes to the financial dealings as well, that is now being questioned. Now, as far as BBC India now facing ED heat, now let's tell you exactly in order what all has happened, because when it comes to the daily fine, that will continue to increase by 5,000 rupees. So what is being said that the daily fine since October 2021 to February 22nd, 2025, it's been over 1,226 days, and a daily fine of 5,000 rupees that has been imposed, which amounts to a total fine as of today to 61,30,000. And even when it comes to the additional fine that was on BBC WS India, that is said to be around 3.44 crore. Each of the directors that has been fined 1.14 crore into 3, that amounts to 3.42 crores. And in fact, when it comes to the accumulated daily fine of also 5,000 rupees, we are looking at a total of 61,000, 30,000, and also a grand total is said to be, including all of these penalties that have now been imposed, including the daily fines as of today, amounts to over 7.47 crores. However, when it comes to this notice that has now been issued to BBC, despite ED citing violation of rules and regulations, politics back home that has broken out, with the opposition now claiming that this was an attack on the 4th pillar of democracy.
समाजवादी पार्टी बीबीसी पे हुई इस कार्रवाई की पूरे तरीके से हम इसकी निंदा करते हैं। ये भारत में प्रेस की फ्रीडम पर लगातार जो सिलसिलेवार हमले हैं, चाहे वो द वायर के साथ हुआ हो, चाहे वो न्यूज क्लिक के साथ हुआ हो, चाहे वो अन्य टेलीविजन चैनल्स के जो ऑनर्स हैं, उनके ऊपर एक कंटिन्यू 2014 के बाद एक प्रतिबंध और साथ साथ प्रेस को कैसे राइट विंग मेजोरिटेरियन रिजीम के अंडर में लिया जाए, इसके चलते ये सारी कोशिश है। और जो बीबीसी के साथ हुआ है, इससे पूरे देश और दुनिया में भारत की शाख को नुकसान पहुंचता है।
अब तक तो हम लोग सुनते थे कि राजनीतिक दलों पर ही ईडी और सीबीआई का शिकंजा कसाया जा रहा है। ये जो केंद्र में बीजेपी की सरकार है, ये पॉलिटिकल पार्टियों के साथ साथ अब जो मीडिया का हाउस है उसको भी अपना टारगेट कर रही है। अब जैसे बीबीसी है, अब केंद्र सरकार को पता है कि बीबीसी लंदन वाले जो हैं ये विदेश की कंपनियां हैं, इस पर हम ज्यादा दबाव नहीं बना सकते, तो उन पर ईडी और बाकी एजेंसियां लगा दी गई। वो सब भी सुरक्षित नहीं है। मतलब लोकतंत्र में न नेता सुरक्षित है, न राजनीतिक दल सुरक्षित है, न मीडिया कर्मी सुरक्षित है। तो सुरक्षित सिर्फ वही है जो भाजपा में है।
Democracy under threat is the plank that has now been taken up by the opposition to target the centre. However, the ED already making clear that there have been rules and regulations that have been violated. In the meantime, let's talk about how Times Now's team also reached out to BBC WS, which is World Service India, for a response. And this is the statement that they told us, saying that BBC is committed to operating within the rules. And at this stage, BBC World Service India nor its directors, they say that they have not received any adjudication order from the Enforcement Directorate. However, saying that they will clearly review the order when they receive and consider the next steps as appropriate. So that is the update as far as the statement that is now concerned. coming in from BBC World Service India. Let's get in a word from Bhavtosh now. Bhavtosh, FEMA violations that are now being regarded as far as daily fine that seems to be imposed. We also speak on this issue as far as when it comes to BBC World Service India. They have been saying in a statement that they are yet to receive any ED order, however saying that they will compliance with the Indian laws and regulations.
Yes, the action was taken by the Enforcement Directorate on the basis of two violations. Amita, one is the FEMA violation and the second is the FDI violation. Now, around 2 years back, the Income Tax Department conducted a survey at premises linked to the BBC operations in India, in Mumbai as well as in Delhi. And soon the Enforcement Directorate carried out its own investigation. Now, ED sources have said it has nothing to do with the editorial policy of BBC in India, but it is a separate investigation. Amita, BBC over a period of time had set up several verticals in the country, including the digital platform. It is several digital platforms in the country. Now, in 2019, the government had clearly mentioned that the API cap in the digital media for any company should not exceed more than 26% FDI. As far as BBC is concerned, it had a 100% FDI cap, and it continued to do so despite repeated reminders from the government. And when the ED started investigating them and ED started recording the statement of the top management of BBC, they did admit that they are at fault, and that's the reason why BBC, in fact, hived off its operation in the country and set up another company called Collective Newsroom. And that's the reason why the fine as of today is 3.44 crore rupees for BBC World Service India, 1.4 crore rupees for the 3 directors, and 5,000 rupees fine daily, compoundable starting from October 2021. Now, the option before BBC World Service India is that they can approach the High Court or any legal forum. But what is very important that ED has said is that the investigation in this case continues. This is just the first step. A show cause notice has been issued, and ED has said that they will continue carrying out its investigation as far as the FEMA violation is concerned.
And BBC on its part says that it is yet to receive the order. However, they say that they are committed to following the rules. Thank you very much for the moment, Bhavtosh, for joining in with the details. In the meantime, Kleptocracy under threat is the plank that has now been taken up by the opposition to target the centre. However, the ED already making clear that there have been rules and regulations that have been violated. In the meantime, let's talk about how Times Now's team also reached out to BBCWS, which is World Service India, for a response. And this is the statement that they told us, saying that BBC is committed to operating within the rules. And at this stage, BBC World Service India nor its directors, they say that they have not received any adjudication order from the Enforcement Directorate. However, saying that they will clearly review the order when they receive and consider the next steps as appropriate. So that is the update as far as the statement that is now concerned, coming in from BBC World Service India. Let's get on a